Fred Durst was born in 1970. He grew up in the Jackson County. As a child, he would watch movies all day, and music was a thing that he liked to play. In 1990, he decided to risk it, and he and his friends formed the band Limp Bizkit. He dreamed of being a rapping prodigy and singing his songs on MTV. But things were hard for the band. They didn't have a manager or even a van. They didn't have a hit song with a cool vid, so no record labels would take them in. Until one day Fred got an idea. He would pick up a chem and buy some gear, and he shot a quick demo tape for the label, and they got signed as fast as they were able. He sang about the nookie, he did it for the nookie. The band name was about masturbating on a cookie. They had an album cover with a butthole, and the beats were so smooth they'd touch your soul. But music was a passion that tired Fred. He'd written so many songs that he got spent. It was music videos where his passion would fall, so one day he decided to go professional. He went to direct a film about some lame kid who couldn't defend himself from a rip-off Brad Pitt. It was The Education of Charlie Banks. It was a big huge flop, and man, it stank. Made back less than a quarter of its budget, and the studio executives just said fudge it. They pulled this film from cinema screens, and it went with the bargain bin DVDs. Next up, he made a film called The Long Shots. To call this film good was also a long shot. It starred Ice Cube and some little girl, and has the worst color grading in the world. Think sticking your head in a juicer full of orange peels and rotten fruit. Every highlight is saturated. This film is one that my eyes really hated. It sold decently upon release. Fred thought the bad reviews would finally cease, until he got back the meta score and saw it was a pretty low 44. On Rotten Tomatoes it was called a bad memoir, and on IMDb it flew under the radar with no good reviews to confide, and Fred Durst decided to go into hiding. Oh, and by the way, his sex tape, 0 out of 10. I'll never watch that again. Man. Finally we come to 2019, where Fred had a movie he wanted seen. It starred John Travolta and another little girl. He released it free on Netflix to the whole wide world, but it was pulled in several days for being really tasteless in every way. It was poking fun at people who were autistic. In terms of the ball, Fred Durst really missed it. On top of that, it's just really bad. The pacing is off and the editing makes me mad. As a horror comedy, there's almost no horror. A better movie genre to pick would be Snorer. This movie was forgotten by the end of the year, and so was Fred Durst and his whole career. I'll be surprised if he makes another one, but I know for sure his fame won't last very long.
To end this story, Fred Durst is a hack. His movie stole hours that'll never get back. His style is to have none whatsoever. He should stick to rapping, cause that's somewhat better. I thought his films would be entertaining in the least, but all I wanted was for the pain to finally cease. So my general point is, on the whole, never trust a director who has an album cover with a chocolate butthole.